Ever wonder what the secret weapon is behind the world's smartest companies? It's not just about having great talent or getting lucky. Nope. It's this powerful engine called analytics. And in the next few minutes, we're going to break down exactly what that means and how it's literally changing everything about how business gets done.
I mean, think about it for a second. You're scrolling online, maybe you just think about getting new running shoes, and bam, an ad pops up for the exact pair you were picturing. Or your streaming service suggests a movie that feels like it was made just for you. That's not a coincidence, and it's definitely not magic. That is the power of business analytics, right there, in action.
So what is this thing really? Well, to put it simply, it's all about using data to answer three super important questions for any business. First, what happened in the past? Second, what's likely to happen next? And maybe most importantly, what's the absolute best decision we can make right now based on all that?
Okay, so to really see how this works, here's our game plan. We'll start with the basic idea of what makes a business smart. Then we'll dive into how analytics totally transforms customer relationships, the supply chain, and all the core operations. And finally, we'll see what that true data-driven advantage really looks like. All right, first up, what actually makes a business smart? Let's start by thinking about a company not just as, a building or a brand, but more like a really complex machine.
You see, every single business, I don't care if it's a huge corporation or a tiny startup, runs on a few key processes. Accountants have a fancy term for them, transaction cycles, but just think of them as the main gears of the machine. You've got the revenue cycle, that's how you make money. The expenditure cycle, how you spend it. The production cycle, how you create your product. And the HR cycle, which is all about your people. Now, analytics, that's the intelligent engine that makes sure all those gears turn together perfectly, smoothly, and intelligently.
Okay, so let's see how this engine works with that first and probably most visible gear, winning over the modern customer. When it comes to the customer, the uses are just incredibly practical. Analytics helps predict demand. That's why that popular item you want is actually in stock. It powers those recommendations that are sometimes eerily accurate, all by analyzing your past behavior. And it lets companies group or segment their customers, which turns mass marketing from shouting with a megaphone into a really personal conversation. And this is a fundamental shift. I mean, we've moved from the age of mass marketing, where companies just blasted the same message out to everyone, hoping something would stick, to an age of pure precision. Now, it's all about targeting the right person with the right offer, and even using data to figure out what new products to build in the first place. That is the huge difference between guessing and knowing. So the companies won you over. Awesome. But how do they actually make that product and get it to you efficiently? Well, let's take a look at the supply chain. Behind the scenes, analytics is working just as hard. It's constantly grading suppliers to make sure they're reliable and offering good value. It's managing inventory with surgical precision so production lines never have to stop. It even tracks quality control data in real time to catch tiny little defects before they become big problems. All to make sure what you get is exactly what you ordered. Here's a super practical example, just getting an order to your door. Analytics kicks things off by digging through all the sales and fulfillment data. Then it pinpoints the exact bottlenecks. Maybe it's a slow packaging station or a really inefficient shipping route. By optimizing those little workflows, the whole process just gets streamlined. And the result? You get your package faster. It's simple, it's logical, and it is incredibly powerful. And this is the transformation from, let's be honest, chaos to clarity. Instead of guesswork that leads to those frustrating out-of-stock messages, you get data-driven precision. Suppliers aren't just vendors anymore, they become strategic partners. Inventory gets optimized right down to the last item, and the whole operation becomes leaner, faster, and way more cost-effective. Okay, we've covered customers and products, but what about the internal gears of the machine? Let's check out how data sharpens those core functions, like finance and human resources. This is kind of the unseen internal engine, but it's just as vital. In HR, for instance, analytics can spot the subtle trends behind why people might be leaving, which helps companies improve retention. It also makes sure compensation is fair and competitive. Meanwhile, over in finance, it's like having a real-time dashboard of the company's financial health, while also using forecasting models to peek around the corner and see what the future might hold. And here is just a stunning example of the efficiency gains. You could have a team spending a full week, that's 40 hours, every single month manually putting together financial reports. By automating that with analytics, that time can just plummet to a few hours. I mean, just imagine what a team can do with all that saved time. Way more analysis, more strategy, and a lot less boring number crunching.
So, we've seen how analytics tunes each and every gear of this business machine. Now, let's put it all together and really understand the ultimate advantage here. This quote really gets to the heart of it. The goal isn't just to optimize one tiny piece of the company. No, the real power comes from giving the entire organization the tools to make smarter, data-driven decisions across every single department all the time.
And the end result of all this? Well, it's a company that just runs better. It's more efficient, it wastes less, and because every single gear is turning in perfect sync, it can deliver a truly superior experience for you, the customer. So the next time you get that perfect recommendation or your package shows up a day early, you'll know it's not magic. It's that intelligent engine humming behind the scenes, turning raw data into smarter decisions. The only question left is, which data-driven company will you interact with next?